Rover, Fido, come here, Spot, Yeller, Hobo, Lassie, Scout, etc. Oliver! Oh, who wants a web show? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You web show.
Man's best friend can be a pretty good friend to have, especially when man is busy trying to kill another man, and that man is trying to kill him. Yes, in these life or death situations, you definitely want to have the best dog you can find, and so we're going to add another installment to our Beasts of Battle series by spending this episode reviewing dogs. Dogs of war. First up is Sergeant Stubby, who served with the Americans in World War I. If medals are any measure of merit, then Sergeant Stubby couldn't have been that bad, as he had no less than 10 pinned to his uniform, including the Wound Stripe, a precursor to the Purple Heart, which he earned when a bunch of Germans put grenade shrapnel in his legs. He also survived being gassed, and as a result was better than most dogs at detecting the gas attack. When was the last time being gassed left you better at anything? The answer for me would be the time that my friend Sean walked by and farted directly in my mouth, which mysteriously led to my getting a lot better at backhanding Sean in the nuts. Stubby was also good at warning of incoming artillery shells, and he was solely responsible for the capture of a German spy. He did all this not as the mascot of some commander's unit way back from the front lines, but as a member of the 102nd American Infantry who spent 18 months fighting in the hellish French trenches. After all that, he returned to America to lead several parades, meet 3 presidents, and carve out a little career for himself as the mascot of a local college football team. Whether or not he parlayed all this prestige into getting himself some bitches, history books don't say. Stubby could do a half-decent salute, but he had nothing on a Norwegian St. Bernard named Bamsey when it came to human behavior. As the hat suggests, Bamsey was a nautical dog and spent World War II as a mascot for the Free Norwegian Forces. Serving on a minesweeper, Bamsey got a couple of deeds of heroism under his belt when he saved one lieutenant from a knife-wielding assailant and also saved another sailor that fell in the water by dragging him back to shore. What makes Bamsey truly remarkable is the fact that he was like a sailor, a kindly grandpa, and a really good drinking buddy who always takes the designated driver role, all sewn together in one big Franken doggy buddy. Metaphors are difficult. Bamsey was not only loved by the sailors, but trusted unconditionally, and it's not hard to understand why. For example, Bamsey would go around breaking up fights between the sailors by placing his paws on their shoulders, making them cool down, and then taking them back to their cabin. When Bamsey's ship had to flee Nazi dominion in Norway, they set up shop in Scotland, where Bamsey got a new duty, cleaning up the drunks from the local pub. No shit. Bamsey would actually travel unaccompanied on the bus to the local pub, the Bodega Bar, and go in and fetch any sailors that were loitering around. If there were no sailors to be found, he'd just get on the next bus home and even would use a bus pass attached to his collar. Yes, sir, this war hero was no flea loader. But in the end, the most impressive dog of war is also the most ridiculous looking. Oh yes, Smokey the dog may not look the part, well, unless that part is sitting in the purse of a woman wearing the most fake tan allowable without a prescription. But as the sidekick of an American pilot who found her in a foxhole in New Guinea, Smokey accomplished more in her 14 years than any 10 purse rats or their owners. Let's see now, she roughed it by being only fed whatever sea rations and Spam that her owner could spare, since as an unofficial dog in the war, she was not provided with the U.S. Army canine diet or even medical care. Sitting in a backpack beside heavy machine guns used to ward off enemy fighters, Smokey saw her fair share of action in the 150 air raids on New Guinea, survived a typhoon, and even did a parachute drop from a 30-foot high tower. During their downtime, Smokey's owner taught her so many tricks that they actually became celebrities for it when they returned to their hometown of Cleveland after the war. Over the course of 42 live television performances, Smokey didn't repeat a single trick, and on the side, did plenty of entertaining for veterans at numerous hospitals. So beloved was Smokey that by the time she died in 1957, she was given a granite monument, but then also in 2005, she was honored again by having a 2-ton blue granite monument erected in her honor. When I die, I'll be lucky if the local necrophiliac gets an erection. Normally I would end an episode with a definitive statement, or maybe even a joke. I make jokes. But in this week's episode, I'm going to leave you guys with a question. Given that we have so many of these incredible dogs in our history who really existed, why are we getting dog movies like this?
I'll tell you why, Oliver. Because that's what the people want. And the people want that because my high school business textbook says so. I don't remember you ever having a business textbook, Slackenbury.